Psychics are often enlisted to help in cases of unsolved crimes, especially that most heinous crime of all, murder. But despite all the anecdotal evidence, as yet there is no cast iron proof that psychic power can be used to help police forces identify and track down the guilty. As part of our exploration to find out if extrasensory perception really does exist, we asked our psychics if they can shed any light on a real unsolved murder.
For 13 years, the unsolved killing of schoolgirl Joanna Young has haunted the sleepy market town of Watton in Norfolk. 14-year-old Joanna was last seen outside the town's fish and chip shop on a foggy night just 2 days before Christmas. The following morning, her black trainers were discovered a mile from her home, placed neatly beside a hedge in Gilman's Drift. Her half-naked body was later found in a farm pond. Jackie Moulton is a former Detective Chief Inspector with the Metropolitan Police.
On Boxing Day 1992, Joanna's body was found just here, half submerged in the water. The post-mortem revealed that she'd suffered a fractured skull, and the cause of death to Joanna was concluded as drowning.
Immediately, a murder inquiry was launched. Hundreds of leads were followed up, including this cryptic note sent to a local newspaper showing a girl, a youth, and a motorbike. And the curious fact that more than 2 weeks after Joanna's trainers were found, someone returned to the scene to discard her missing blue jeans. Yet despite a massive police inquiry, no one has ever been charged with Joanna's killing, and the trail has long since run cold.
The saddest thing about this case is that 13 years later there is no closure for Joanna Young's parents. As an ex-detective, what I find interesting about this case is that it could have been, of course, a straightforward murder. Secondly, it could have been an accident that had gone wrong, that somebody's panicked. The note I find very, very interesting. This person has a conscience. I have a gut feeling, a copper's instinct, that that note was written by a woman.
Possibly, Jackie believes, by someone shielding the killer. But after such a long time, can our psychic sense anything at all about the circumstances of Joanna's death, and possibly shed new light on her tragic story? As always, our psychics have been told absolutely nothing about the case in advance. All they have to go on is Joanna's photograph. They don't know that she's been killed, let alone where the evidence or her body was found. Nor do they know that the lady with Jackie is Joanna's former head teacher and family friend, Jan Godfrey.
The very first want to go through here, and I want to go to that direction, to the right.
Okay.
Diane immediately heads towards the wooded lane where Joanna's trainers and jeans were found.
Joanna's walked this path before. I know she has. Joanna's walked this path before, okay? A bit of a tomboy, really. I will say that as well, because she's sort of pulling the socks up and sort of, you know, it doesn't matter if she gets a bit dirty.
Is she a tomboy?
Yes, absolutely.
She liked drama. She liked to play the other person, and I feel that her strong character still coming out in this
That was her
world.
strength at school.
I know. I can hear somebody walking behind her. I can hear the crunch. This was going to happen. She's smiling. It's not obvious what happened to her. It is not obvious. She was facing something that she couldn't see from. She was pushed into a situation where she was facing something and she couldn't see anything. I can't see anything.
Joanna disappeared in thick fog.
I feel I want to keep walking, okay?
Diane's now standing near the spot where Joanna's trainers were found.
As I'm looking, I keep seeing the bike, as if I'm looking for the bike. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? And it's a clear vision. She's working very hard here to show me this bike. It's important, you see.
Diane has been told absolutely nothing about the relevance of the bike, nor the note sent to the local newspaper.
And I know she was lying here. I don't know if she came off the bike or because I've got her on the bike and then I've got her off the bike. And I can't do anything about it. I want to go home, but she can't go home. And you every single day thinking about her. There's not a day that goes past. And you help youngsters, and she loves that. And in fact, it's as if I'm drawn to giving you a big hug because she hugs you regular.
Well, thank
and to be honest with you, you're listening and counselling people, and that's what she loves.
Okay, you're doing good.
Thank you.
I'm just amazed at what she came to the conclusions of. There were the thing about Joanna not being able to see and the fact that it was such a foggy night. Her description of Joanna was that she was fun, that she loved drama. All of these are absolutely spot on. And they're things that you couldn't possibly know from a photograph. Just amazing, yeah.
We've told Diane that we'd like her to try and identify a second significant location. Unprompted, she sets off across the fields. She walks fully half a mile until finally she stops by a small copse.
I want to go down there.
Diane's instinct is to plough on.
I feel she's been murdered. I want to go there.
Go on, Diane.
Diane has been drawn to the very spot where Joanna's body was found.
She died with tears in her eyes. She died when she was crying. And the leaves. Show me the leaves.
Police believe that the killer returned to the scene of the murder and deliberately covered the body with leaves.
She had leaves in her mouth. I see her with wet hair. I don't feel she was found straight away. I feel she's got no voice. I'm not saying that it's an accident. I know there's a man involved in this. So he was following her. I know she was being followed. I feel 100% with that. She was being followed and she was aware of him being there. She panicked, she went, and he was there. I know he was there. So somebody out there is living with this on his conscience.
At this point, Diane began to describe in detail the person she believes was responsible for Joanna's death. For legal reasons, we cannot broadcast her comments in case it should hamper any future police investigation.
He smokes Regal cigarettes.
But we did put her comments to Jan Godfrey, who confirmed that the description matched one of the original police suspects.
What's happened today must go to the Norfolk Constabulary for them to look at it and assess it and take from it what they want. But it is an essential part of their investigation to have a look at what Diane has achieved.
Diane's extraordinary performance has left everybody emotionally drained.
I've always been quite sceptical, and I'm sort of changing my mind a little bit about just how that's all, you know, how can she do that?
I knew she was dead before I came here, straight away. I knew last night she was dead. I knew I was going to see a young girl. I was looking through a young girl's eyes.
The interesting thing is what we can find out next, the things that we don't know.
I'm not saying that it's an accident. I know there's a man involved in this.
The information revealed by our psychics in that test has been passed on to the police. Well, let's hope there is something there that will help them to catch the killer. Now, if you were living in this area in 1992 or early 93 and anything contained in that film has jogged your memory, you can contact the police with any information on this number. It's 0845 456 4567.